Hey you guys, it's Annika from Aligned Mama's Healing. I am an intuitive, which means I can read energy. I'm a medium, psychic, and a mother to 4 beautiful children. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about intuition. I've had a lot of people asking me how they can better connect to their intuition and what that looks like and what that requires. For me, intuition has always been an innate sense. It feels like touch or taste or hearing for me. It is a part of the human experience being in this body. When I was a child, I know that I had more clarity in the access that I had to my intuition. It was just for me, a sense of feeling. I feel it very much in my whole body. It's like a resounding yes. I will get gut feelings. I will also hear things, and I can see things very clearly in my mind's eye. It will play out as if it were like a scene in a movie in my mind. And that helps guide me in moving forward. So as a child, I used this sense a lot, but when you start to plug more and more into the earthly experience, especially as a child, you kind of unplug and disassociate from that intuitive sense because we are not taught right now how to connect to that intuition, and we're not taught to develop that connection with ourselves. We are actually more so guided to connect to this human experience. And then the other part of it for me was that I could connect to ghosts and spirits. And I remember being a little kid and being really afraid of connecting to ghosts and spirits. I remember laying in my bed at night and going, nope, no, no, not today. You are not welcome, and I want to turn this sense off. I don't want to see you. You are not welcome. And for years, I practiced this because I know that I would have this sense would come over me, and it kind of lifted the hairs on my arms. I would get some chills, and it just felt eerie to me because I wasn't taught how to lean into that and really harness that curiosity. What is that feeling? And start to understand it a little bit better. For me, it was just a no, and it scared me. It wasn't until I had my kids that my awakening really amplified. After having my twins, I had another baby about 14 months later, and having so many kids all at one time was just completely overwhelming. It turned my life on its head. Everything that I knew was no longer, from my daily routine to the things that I enjoyed to my body. Everything had completely changed. Then all of a sudden I started developing chronic illness, eczema, and it flared up on my breasts, which made breastfeeding really hard. It flared up about 2 days postpartum after my third baby, and I knew that I needed to make lifestyle choices that were healthier for me, that were more supportive of my immune system, and that made me feel better on the whole. That's when I found Medical Medium, and I began to apply his lifestyle ideas and ideals. I did a tremendous amount of research. I read all of his books, and I began to apply celery juice in the mornings and then taking out slowly the foods that were inflammatory for me that caused these flare-ups at the time. When I began to do this, I noticed a huge shift in my energy. I started to learn that food is not just something that fuels you. It's not just something that keeps you going, but it's actually energy too. And the way that you fuel yourself and you give yourself that energy and nurturing is going to pay back tenfold. What I began to experience was feeling safe in my body. I started feeling whole again. I had no idea how many things were uncomfortable in this physical form for me. I felt really disconnected from my energy body and this physical body. I am somebody who resonates with the term starseed. I very much feel like my soul exists a lot in the stars. While I do believe that half of my soul still resides beyond this planet up above in the stars, I also believe that that's where I've lived a lot of my past lives. So Earth for me can be physically really taxing. I also can disassociate from my physical form, which then causes me a disconnect from the energy from my body to my soul. And the idea of being here on earth and making that connection is about filling your physical form with the energy that your soul has and allowing that energy to take over this body and fuel this body so that it can live on that high vibrational frequency. It may not be as great of a frequency as where it would be up above the stars, but it's a higher frequency than what is available to us or taught to us on an everyday in and out concept of how to live and be on earth. So once I kind of unplugged from those belief systems, I began to see how many more opportunities of wellness and well-being I had at my fingertips. I felt empowered again. I felt like I had the power to choose how to feel well. So I began to heal a lot of the physical, chronic illness, eczema. I'm pretty sure I healed 40 to 50 symptoms that I was experiencing: eye floaters, constipation, bloating, insomnia. There was ringing in my ears, hair loss, exhaustion, cravings, especially for salt. All of those things I've been able to move past and really honor and understand why my body was feeling that way. And since I've been able to heal those, it's given me more clarity of thought. I have a clear head. I was able to heal brain fog, and I now have more room in my head, in this space, to bring in my intuition and connect to that sense like I would smell, taste, seeing, hearing. It came on really quickly. I started to see ghosts. I started to see spirit babies. I began to connect to people's past lives. I began to see people as energy and see plants as energy too. There's a certain amount of light that emanates from high vibrational things like trees and grass, and I began to see their auras around them. As I started stepping into my light and nourish this connection, I also stopped and was wondering if there was somebody out there who could teach me how to do this. I began to consume as much information as I could about spirituality and metaphysical everything, really. I read all the books. I was listening to Audible. I consumed podcasts. I was on Instagram following everybody who was inspiring to me that I looked at that made me feel like, oh, I want to be like that, or how can I embody that energy myself? And I just put inspiration all around me. That drove me to follow that curiosity and really continue to absorb as much as I possibly could in this space. That then created some manifestations where I would hold the idea of, I need a mentor. I need somebody who can teach me how to do all of this, harness these abilities, understand them, and then apply them. Then I found my mentor, and from there, I've excelled tremendously as a human. I don't recognize the person that I was a year ago. I hold a tremendous amount of compassion for that individual because she didn't know any better. She didn't have the tools that she needed to get through the hard stuff. And so the way that she coped was using the victim mentality and not standing up and taking ownership of the way that I thought, saw, and acted in my own life and how that affected the way my life was moving forward. I can say that mentorship is very important. I think right now we have a lot of people who are stepping into that curiosity. They're beginning to consume all of the things that they possibly can so that they can satiate that hunger that they have for learning about intuition, energy, mediumship, psychic, anybody's like gifted abilities. And I am happy to announce that I will be offering mentorship enrollment in January, toward the end of January. And this program looks like helping mothers connect to their intuition, how to use that intuition to create a sense of empowerment, to help encourage your connection with your children, and then further to help you navigate life once you have stepped into this role of your gifts and your life's purpose. We will be offering readings. I will be offering readings for women who are needing a little more guidance around their purpose. We will check in once a week via Zoom, and you will have a sense of community around you. It won't be a process of feeling lonely and as if you're the only one who's feeling this way. I think and I cherish community so much. I know how important it is for women, for mothers, to have that sense of community. And I am so excited to say that we will be offering that through this mentorship program. You will have access to me to be able to ask me questions throughout the week, and we will be working out any of your questions that you have. Things that you bring to me, I am going to be happy to help guide you through those things that are happening for you. I will also offer some energy healing for you to release cords, remove blocks, and really get deep into the reasons of why you're feeling stuck in this place of not being able to move forward in your intuitive gifts. Now, this is going to be the first round of mentorship for us at Aligned Wellness Healing, and I'm really excited. But because it's all new, it will be offered at a discounted price. So, in that being said, this is going to be a beautiful time for you to sign up for mentorship if it's been on your heart. If you're feeling called to work with me, I invite you to come and join me and enroll in mentorship. At this time, I am taking people on waitlist, and then I will be emailing them after the enrollment has been opened. The other thing about being in this first round of mentorship is that you will have a tremendous amount of access to me. You will be able to communicate with me through messages. We will have live meetings, and I'm going to be as available to you as I can be to help support you, because my goal through this is to offer you the support that I so desperately needed when I was in those first few years of trying to figure out where I was going. What is my purpose after becoming a mom? Do I even have a purpose? Am I supposed to just be a mom? Is that enough for me? And I want to help support you through those really hard moments of wondering what's next, and support you and empower you to feel comfortable in these slow moments, because it's through these slow moments that you will slowly progress into the big moments. If you have any questions, please send me a DM or an email at Annika, Annika, at alignedmamashealing.com. I can't wait to connect with you guys, and I'm so excited to be mentoring you. I'm so honored to be here. Sending you all the love.